Alright, back at it, and how about the bird? It's kind of like a Dutch. We just swap it around. A little Stonewall attack action going. This is going to be one of the better ways to play it, as black didn't play, in my opinion, any of the critical variations. And trading with this knight on d7 looks a bit awkward, so I already feel like white has a pretty substantial edge here without too much risk. And if I go bishop h4, it's interesting. Queen b6, knight takes d7. And I'm okay with this ending because this just seems kind of loose. My bad bishop is useful on h4, eyeing some key squares. Okay, knight f5, bishop f2. Wants that square. I don't want you to have that square. My bad bishop finds a great use. Yeah. He needed to do that. Otherwise, there was some queen takes b6 in between stuff there. That was not going to work out well for him. Let's go ahead and take the easy way out here, and now I just need to make my knight great again, and we're good to go. g3, alright, stop any of this nonsense. Rook f2, g3, knight f1, knight f3, and then we'll take score from there. Probably a good idea from my opponent, but it allows me to get where I need to go. So maybe not. And let's question what he's doing there. Let's keep the other bishop out. I have all day here. No need to hurry. No harder for black to breathe. And let's transition this ending. So I feel like this is, with all of his pawns on the same color of the remaining bishop, the knight's got to be better here. Make the position work for you. We're going to probe a little bit puts his bishop anywhere, pretty much knight b3, b6. We're going to bring the knight back. Bring it back. We're not letting you in. We're not having any of that. Uh-huh. You weren't worried about that? I feel like you should be worried about that. No. I got a runner. Knew it was coming at some point. Good try. A little bit of speed at the end there. All right. So, I am not a big fan of the bird unless you can get a colors reversed Dutch, and my opponent was very accommodating in allowing me to get these positions. Honestly, I think if you have experience with anything that breaks on e5, that's the way to go against these systems. I mean, even like Fromm's Gambit and that type of stuff's pretty interesting. I've had a few games with this type of stuff, and this is supposed to refute it if you know the theory hardcore, but I mean, who's going to learn so much intricate theory just to prove a move where you can get a colors reverse position wrong? Not many people. Crazy folks. I mean, the same principles apply when facing this as is typical. You want to trade off the bad B, and I feel like black chose a really terrible structure here. I'd much rather see bishop f5 to try to get rid of the bishop immediately, or b6 immediately, as we've seen has been played, where the threat is bishop a6. So I need to stop it, and then you slow play it, something like queen c8, followed by bishop a6. But what was played in the main game just gives me a good post, and I've got time to sort out my worst piece. All this is okay. As soon as he played f5, queen takes b6 immediately. More forcing and then doing this. And which is interesting because rook f2, long variation there tactically, but I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. It could have transposed, but yeah. Now, I gotta question the decision by my opponent here to allow the trade of rooks, because the bishops are good, but it's just a matter of time, as the engine is saying. So no hurry, just a bit of probing, get the knight on a good square. And I thought about knight takes c6 all in here, but I didn't like the potential of two passers. So I understood that, when we got here, rook takes e3. So learning how to transition. People get too materialistic and be like, but that's a rook. Like, well, that e-pawn and his bishop are his only potential winning chances. What we have here remaining is a light square bishop with pawns all on the same color as the bishop. King that is currently completely boxed out. All of my pawns are on the opposite color of his bishop, and the engine confirms at a +5 evaluation here that this is a completely winning position for white. All you have to do is win it. So I'm happy that I was able to make the correct evaluation there, and no major hurry. Probed until found a way to botch it, and then no counterplay, protect the base pawn. Then we've got simply put a runner for the rest of the game. You got to watch out in these less than 10-second situation for those types of pre-moves. And clearly I need work on my speed some. And I mean, he should definitely keep the pawn and knight on the board. And that gives more stalemating chances. So that was bad technique, bad bullet technique, we'll say, for my opponent, as I was still using 0.5 of a second there on that last move. That's definitely should be able to play faster than that when checkmate is inevitable like this. All right, that'll do it for this one.